Okay, good morning, everybody. Moadim lesimcha.
See you just now.
Hope you are well. We are on Chol HaMoed Sukkos. And the whole idea is, as we talked in the past, to understand and realize, now sometimes, after Yom Kippur, everybody says, Baruch Hashem, Yom Kippur is finished. We can go on with life. But the real truth is, nothing finished. It's only starting. Because the whole idea of this procedure of Rosh Hashanah, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, and Yom Kippur, the whole idea is getting into the Sukkah. And Chazal, our sages, they call it like there is Tshuva mi'irah u'tshuva ma'ava. There is doing tshuva from the fear of God, and is the tshuva from the love of God. And of course, the love of God is the higher level. So till now, Rosh Hashanah, the 10 days of tshuva, and Yom Kippur, they were doing tshuva from yirah, from the fear of God. Now, in the Sukkot, this is now doing tshuva from the point of view of the love of God, which is a much higher level. So in other words, all what we did till now was a preparation to elevate ourselves to the love of God, which is in this beautiful mitzvah of the Sukkah, sitting in the Sukkah, and all the many mitzvahs that we've got involved with our Arbat Aminim and the spices and everything. And when we're showing God our love, something unbelievable happens, because there is a Mishnah, the Chazal says that if somebody does tshuva, his sins become like he did it by mistake, shogeg. This is when he's doing tshuva from yira, from the fear of God. But if he's doing tshuva from the love of God, all the sins he did are going to be counted as mitzvahs. Unbelievable. But only if he does it from love. So in order to get this stage of worshiping God and loving God and be like God, this is the procedure that we went through on Rosh Hashanah, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, and Yom Kippur. And now we are in the middle of the procedure of doing it from love. And this is this beautiful Yom Tov, and that's why it's called Zman Simchateinu, the time of our happiness, because a Jew has to be happy the whole year around, and especially on Yom Tov, on Shabbos. So why is Rosh Sukkot called Zman Simchateinu, the time of our happiness? Because the time of joy here now is this unbelievable relationship between us and God, a relationship of love. This is the idea of Sukkot. And in order to go into this mood, we have to take the 4 spices, that each one of them is a symbol of a part of Am Yisrael. The etrog, of course, is got taste and got smell, is the tzaddik, who's got Torah and it's got good deeds. The lulav is got taste but no smell, taste the dates that come from the lulav. And this means that it's got Torah, but no masim tovim, no good deeds. Then we have the adas. The adas got good smell, no taste. This is somebody who's got no Torah, but he's doing good deeds. And then we have the arava. The arava's got nothing, no smell, no taste. In other words, no Torah, no good deeds. So everybody will imagine to himself that if chas v'sholem I go to the market and I cannot find an etrog, I've got nothing. Because if I haven't got the tzaddik, it's very logical that I cannot do the mitzvah without the tzaddik. The etrog is the tzaddik. It's got taste and got smell. But if I cannot find the arava, what is so terrible? So I will have the etrog, I have the adas, and I have the lulav. I've got everybody, and I haven't got the one who's got nothing, no smell, no taste, no mitzvahs, no Torah, no good deeds. Who needs him? Our sages said, the Torah says, no. You have to have them all together. Nevertheless, you don't hold them separate. You have to hold them together. You cannot just hold a part of them and then a part on the table or a part of it. No, you have to hold the lulav and the etrog and the adas and the arava together, because Am Yisrael are all one. And it doesn't matter who you are and what part you are in Am Yisrael. The tzaddikim, those who are, let's say, not so great tzaddikim, and even those who's got nothing, even they are a part of Am Yisrael. And only if we understand this, that we all one, and then we sit in the sukkah, this is when this love is increasing, and we have this opportunity to change everything, to open a new page with the love of God. This is unbelievable. This is why it's so, so joyful, so happy. And in order to understand the love of our Father to us, it's a story I used to tell about talking about being about love. We all know what people say in the street. They say that one father can raise and love 10 children, parent, but 10 children cannot cannot help one father or one mother. And we all know this. The relationship is not different. It's not the same. There is this story, a true story, by the way, that the Rav that gives us the shiur of the Daf Yomi told us a few years ago. And this story is about a guy. He was quite wealthy, and he had very good kids. He had quite a few kids, daughters and boys, and they were all very good with him. And he decided one day, instead of waiting till I die, I will give them everything now. And so there won't be any rows. Everybody will get his share. And I don't need anything. I will stay with them each time with somebody else of my children. And everybody loved the idea. And he did it. He sold his home. He sold everything he had, and he divided it between his children. And then, unbelievable thing happened. Slowly but surely, the kids didn't want him so much in their home. Like, okay, Father, maybe now you go to our brother or go to the sister. I've got things to do. And they were sending him from each one to other one. Like he felt nobody wants it. He's unwanted. And he really got to a situation that sometimes he didn't even know where he's going to sleep because he sold everything and gave his kids. So when it came to this level, he didn't have any other option. He went to his rabbi. And he comes to a rabbi and he tells him, and he's so ashamed, and it's so hard for him to talk about it, to tell the rabbi those wonderful kids he's got, how they behave with him, but there is nothing else to do. So he tells the rabbi the story, and the rabbi tells him, you know what? I'm going to give you a notebook, a small notebook with a pen. And now, every time that you go to one of the children, when they do something, you just take out this notebook, write something in, and it doesn't matter what you write. You can write nonsense, whatever, draw, whatever you do. But don't let nobody see what you're writing in, what is written in your notebook. This father looked at the rabbi and says, you really? He says, don't worry, do what I'm telling you. So he went back home. And every time, the kids see that he takes this small notebook out of the pocket and starts writing things and hiding it again in the pocket. Suddenly, the whole behavior changed. They were now fighting where he's going to stay. Father, no, you come to me now. No, stay here. Don't go to the sister or brother. No, we want you in our house. He couldn't believe his luck. It was even better than before. Unbelievable. They were fighting for him and honoring him, and wow, he came back to the rabbi. He's so happy. He says, Rabbi, what is this miracle notebook you gave him? What is the miracle here? And the rabbi says, no miracle. You see, you did quite a stupid thing. You gave everything to your kids and you got nothing left. So the kids, knowing that you've got nothing else to give them, slowly but surely, they didn't care so much. That's the nature of the world. What can we do? As we said, one father can raise 10 children, but 10 children doesn't work so good. Anyway, when you started writing in your notebook and hiding it, they will start thinking. They knew that you are a wealthy guy. And they thought, whoa, maybe father didn't give us everything. And he's got a lot saved. And now he's checking who is going to give it to. So they were now showing you how good they are in order to be those who are going to get another share of their heritage. They're going to get this good thing that you still didn't give them. And now you go back home and you go on doing the same thing. And this father went back home until now, Baruch Hashem, he is enjoying his life and all the kids honor him. and they compete who is going to have him. And he is going on and scribbling in this notebook and hiding it in his pocket. Unfortunately, this is life. Now, think about it. Our Father in heaven, he loves us like a father loves his children. It doesn't matter what we do. He still wants our love. But the difference is that our Father in heaven, he is not going to die. And he has so much to give us on top of what he already gave us. So let us learn this lesson from this story. Don't be like those kids. From two points of view. First of all, Father in heaven still got a lot to give us. And we have to be only very careful and showing our Father in heaven our love only from the simple reason that he gave us already everything we've got. And he's got so much to give us. So this is going to help us to change our attitude towards God and to understand and realize when we sit in the sukkah that this is a temporary world. We are only here for a certain period of time. And when we sit in the sukkah, we connect ourselves to nature. We are holding also the four spices that are a part of nature because we are a part of nature. And God created this all beautiful creation. And he's telling us, when you sit in the sukkah and you look around and you see the nature from your sukkah, you understand and realize that you're sitting in a sukkah which is a temporary place, as well as this whole world is. And also your home, which is built from bricks and is solid and you've got everything in it, it's also only temporary. And we have to understand that God loves us so much that though we were not exactly such good kids, but he still loves us. And talking about love, we have to mention Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu in the Parshat Shavua, Vezot habracha asher berech Moshe ish Elokim. This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, look to what level he got. And it's very interesting. In this point of view, when Moshe Rabbeinu is being called the man of God, Isha Elokim, it's when he is blessing Am Yisrael. In other words, there is something connected here between his blessing to Am Yisrael and being the man of God, the Isha Elokim. And what is it? Love. You know what is the last word, the last letter in the Torah? The last letter in the Torah is, the pasuk says, ולכל היד החזקה, ולכל המורא הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל, in the eyes of all Am Yisrael. Israel, the end letter is Lamed. And what is the first letter that the Torah starts, which we're also going to read on Simchas Torah? What is the first letter? Bereshit, Bet. If I take Lamed and Bet, what do I've got? Lev, the heart. This is what God wants from us, the heart. And this is Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is in a position now. He's going to die. And somebody before he goes to die, it's not exactly with the best thought about people, especially when we're talking about Am Yisrael, that because of them, he is dying. He cannot go into Eretz Yisrael because of them, because the row he had with them on Mei Merivah, on the water. And thinking about this tells us the Torah that nevertheless, he was blessing Am Yisrael, Vezot habracha, though normally it's impossible to be in such a great love after what Am Yisrael did to you. But that's Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is on a higher level. Moshe Rabbeinu loves Am Yisrael so much that he really doesn't care what they did and what they didn't do. What he cares, that he wants them to do the right in the eyes of God. He wants them to continue the love of God. He wants them to have the love of God as he has got it. So he is blessing them. He's giving them this beautiful blessing. They say that this is one of the best blessing ever. Vezot, and that's Vezot habracha sheberech Moshe ish Elokim. Unbelievable. And this is the source of the power of Moshe Rabbeinu. So if we want to elevate ourselves, how do we do it? Live with our heart. That's the only way. The only way to increase our love, to build the right relationship between us and God, between us and our brothers and sisters, is through our heart with love. Only with love we can get to this high level. So as we see, Moshe Rabbeinu is giving unbelievable blessing to Am Israel. And in this blessing, he is blessing also Naphtali. And Naphtali's blessing is unbelievable. I want to find it for a minute. Where is it? ולנפתלי אמר, שבע רצון, נפתלי שבע רצון ומלא ברכת השם, ים ודרום ירשה. He says to Naphtali, he is satisfied and he's full with the blessing of God. This is an unbelievable blessing. What is to be satisfied? You know, everybody's got a will. And you know, on the Kabbalah says that a person is what he wants in life. That's your real you. What do you want in life? What do you want to do? The will, haratzon, that is what you are. This is your essence. And if you fulfill, I knew a guy years ago that he decided that he's going to be a millionaire. That's what he wanted. And he did everything he could in order to get to that stage. And he did it. Today, he is a grandfather and he is a very rich guy. And I'm sure that everybody wants to know how he did it and do the same in order to get to his level. This is in the physical world. But it's exactly, we can learn. You know, the Parsha is very interesting. We have a lot of, in Parashat Shavua, a lot of resemblances like to animals. We have a lot of things that talking about animals and things, and Nachash, snake, and we have, I think, a lion. One minute, let me take the Torah, and we see so many unbelievable things. For example, let's go and find it. 1 minute. Bchor shoro adar lo, an ox. Gad kelavi, a lion. Gur aryeh, another lion. And I saw a very interesting thing about, there is a Mishnah that tells us, you should be fearless like a lion. You should be quick, let's say light like an eagle. And you should be and you should be have the strength of a lion. Let me see if I've got it here. Kal katzvi should be like quick like a deer. Imagine to yourself, says the Rav Shlomo Levenstein, if it will be not exactly the same. If you will be light like a lion and fearless like a deer and quick on the ground, yes, like an eagle. Did nothing. So in other words, when you have certain qualities that you got from God, you have to know how to use them in the right way. All the blessing we have in our Parsha, all the blessing that Yaakov blessed his children, that Moshe blessed, that God blessed us, they're all blessing to all of us. It's not only to the certain tribe, Naphtali, Dan, or Asher. It's those, this is the things that we've got, the powers that we've got inside us. So sometimes we have the power like Naphtali. Sometimes we have the power like Dan. Sometimes we have the power like Judah. Sometimes the power of a lion, sometimes the power of a snake. Whatever it is, we have to know how to use it in the right way. And then if you use things in the right way, if our will goes into the right direction, then we have this beautiful blessing of Naphtali. Because Naphtali, what it is really, says God, he is Svaratzon, he's satisfied. And this is the unbelievable. If you are satisfied with your life, there's nothing better than this. If you are satisfied with what you do, that's the best thing in life. And this is exactly the point. Now, if we want to do it, we have to think, what do you want in life? There is a big difference between wanting to be a millionaire and wanting to do the right thing, which being close to God. And of course, we can learn from this guy who wanted to be a millionaire how we do it with the same, with the same effort, with the same thing he did, but take it to the right way, to the right direction, take it to the spiritual direction, and put the efforts he put in order to be and get this, let's say, this materialistic level, and let's do this and elevate ourselves in the spiritual level. And then, and only then, says the Rav Dester, there is only one happiness in life. And this happiness, this real happiness, simcha amitit, a real happiness is not from a physical thing, not from a materialistic thing. There is no real happiness from materialistic things. It's maybe a certain happiness, but it goes, it fades away. There is only one way to be really happy, and that's the spiritual way. Only a spiritual way can bring you to the highest level. And this is exactly what we're supposed to do on Sukkot. We're supposed to take our love and spread it to everybody. And this is why we take together all Am Israel, the etrog, the lulav, the arava, and the adas. And only when we understand and realize that we are all one, and together we sit in the sukkah, covered by God, hugged by God in the sukkah, ki tzpeneni b'sukkah. And with this, showing our real love and putting the efforts in the right place, then this is Naphtali Svaratzon. Why is he Svaratzon? Why is he satisfied from life? Because he's full with the blessing of God. Maleh birkat Hashem. So I really wish for all of us that we will understand that after doing tshuva from the fear of God, now we are doing tshuva from the love of God. We elevate ourselves. And we are now in Sukkot have to show God how we love him. And to show God how we love him is to show how we love each other, how we hug each other, how we're sitting together in the sukkah, how we take all the spices together, the etrog, the lulav, the arava, and the adas. And only in this way, when we are really, what we want really is to satisfy God, we are going to be satisfied, because this is the essence of life, love to each other, love to God. That's the way God created the world. Olam chesed yibaneh. And if we do this, mimele, we have this beautiful blessing, Naphtali Svaratzon. We will be satisfied, full with the blessing of God. Moadim lesimcha, chagim uzmanim lesason. All the best to everybody.